What the fuck is up?
Hello, hello.
I know people, it's been a little bit. Our jobs and outside things have not been very kind to either myself or the big Papa Bear over there, so it's been kind of shit. But it is nice because we've had 2 weeks since the last live feed. Um, and there's been a shit ton of stuff that's happened.
See, you say a shit ton, but then there's certain
Not
things
really?
where I'm like, there's been some. Hello. There's been some things that's going on. I mean, it's been a little quiet because we're building up to, we're less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. So we still have some questions on some things. I mean, we still got a little bit of conversation go on for the XFL still. And by the way, you picked a team that's not doing that great. That's almost oh yeah, that's been eliminated. So
Yeah, we were eliminated. Yeah,
yeah,
we were eliminated.
yeah, we'll go through some of this
Yeah,
and
we were eliminated. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. We were eliminated. That's okay. So the first thing I would like to talk about is what the fuck is going on with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
the Green Bay Packers are still like holding all the cards kind of, and they know the Jets want them badly, and they're not willing to come up with the full like agreement yet. So if the certain things are in place and they want to get it done as soon as possible, but it's willing. How much is the Jets willing to give up now? Because everybody else is off the table. He said he wants to go to the Jets, and they're kind of just like, okay, well, either we eat the money when he goes to retire, or they come up with a good enough package that we go ahead and make the trade. They're right now that salty person that's like, either way, we don't fucking care. We'll eat the money just so that way you don't get them. But fuck Aaron Rodgers. Personal preference.
I know you hate Aaron Rodgers so, but what you have every right to. Yeah, you have every right to hate Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I give you that. But
There's always that fucking but.
I mean, he's still a decent quarterback. The Jets went out and got one out of his five that he wanted for a fucking wish list,
Mm-hmm.
which they did. They did. They went and got at least one. They tried for other ones, and the latest one failed, and he went to somewhere else, which we're going to get into OBJ here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted OBJ. Of course, OBJ didn't happen. I mean, just fucking let the motherfucker go. Just let him go. Take a pick or two and just suck it up and just let the crybaby go.
How about this? Let's go total speculation and just fuck up the industry, okay?
Okay, I
Something
love it.
happens.
I like those.
Something happens with this. The Jets finally say, all right, I'm done. We don't give a shit. And who's available that we can get right now that could change us and do this? We were looking at these options. What's the next choice? What if they just, for some reason, throw out there and fucking pick up Lamar Jackson and be like, well, fuck it. You keep Aaron Rodgers. You let him retire. Do whatever the hell you want. And we'll bring his ass in and we'll see where this takes us.
I mean, it's not super far fetched.
No, and there's not a lot of teams right now that are on the Lamar Jackson train. There's not a lot of, insight yet of what's going on. It's just so quiet. And nobody thinks he's going to play on that. He's not going to play on this exclusive tag or an exclusive tag.
My thing is, could they afford Lamar Jackson? I don't think they have the fucking cap space to do it.
If it came down to it, they'd bring him in, and then
what are you going to do with Jordan Love?
No, I'm not saying the Packers. I'm saying the Jets.
Oh, the Jet. Oh, that's even more intriguing. I thought
Right.
you were the path.
And I was
Okay,
gonna say, like,
that's
how?
even more intriguing. Okay,
'Cause
so
that's why I got lost for a second. Because I'm like, wait, if the Jets
I
can
thought you were
pick
talking
up,
about him going to the Packers. So I was like, well, I mean,
no, 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 Packers, I don't fucking know. I'm saying, what if the Jets get tired of all the bullshit and
mhm.
finally just say, you do what you do, you keep them, you're prima donna,
What up, Donald?
what's going on, and we'll just go for a different quarterback. I think that's a
I
decent chance.
mean, they could, they could get him,
There's talk that the Jets could trade
but
up and get ahead of, far enough ahead to actually pick up a good decent
my th-
quarterback in
my
the
thing
top
is,
10.
my thing is, I don't think Lamar Jackson will want to go to New York. He wants to go to a guaranteed competitor for a Super Bowl.
They're not that
That's
far
what
fetched.
he, huh?
They're not that far off, though.
Mm, I
They're
don't know.
not. They're still missing a few pieces, but put in the right quarterback and you have the opportunity. You're not playing with Zach Wilson. You completely will have a difference in game plan.
Maybe, maybe it's a slight possibility. I mean, they do. You're right. They do have some. They do have some pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They have some pieces. I give you that. And I'm sitting here. I'm going over last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, you're right. You're right. I'll agree with you. If they could bring in the right quarterback, very well possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brady ain't retiring. He's making way too much money off of his damn protein shakes. And trust me, I'm one of them that's buying them. I'm guilty of the TB12 train. So
You love a big mouthful of TB12. You just admit it. You left that one open, buddy.
I did. I did. I'm tired. I'm, I'm not my usual self tonight. I haven't had my TB12 today. I did that one on purpose.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, no, he's Brady's definitely not coming back.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. The next one, I guess. I mean, really, we could
Hold on.
continue to talk about Lamar Jackson because really, there's more places than just the Jets he could go.
But hold on. Like I was saying, there's still more to talk about. We're not done with the Jets yet. We're not done talking about this aspect. We're
Okay.
going into this that there is speculation out on the interweb. All right. That potentially the Jets might try to move up. And one of the teams they're looking at is the Bears, at least at number 9.
Yes, I did hear that.
Yeah. Getting his hands in a lot of different things for sports, which is pretty cool. And maybe. So they're talking that the Jets might want to move up, trade
Mhm.
with the Bears, make the Bears trade back, and no, not make them, but make it a swap, and potentially try to see who might still be available for quarterbacks because it's still on the table even at number 9.
I mean, the four main quarterbacks. I don't think they're gonna make it that far.
We don't know though. I mean, there's still people talking that the Cardinals might trade out if they get a good enough package. So you might have that. They might trade out of 3. So you could have a decent amount of quarterbacks taken in the first 5.
I
But
did see somebody was trying to trade up to 3, but I can't remember who the fuck it was. That there was something going on, and I vaguely read it, and I didn't read it long enough for it to really like soak in. But I did see that somebody said that there was a team that was in talks of trading up to the 3rd pick, but I can't remember who the fuck it was. I know the Colts brought in Kentucky's quarterback to meet with him.
mm-hmm.
Was that Will Levis? I think is
Yeah,
his name.
that's the one that they're really looking at.
Yeah, I think the Colts are pretty sold on trying to get Levis.
Hmm.
Um, you know, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud are going to go probably 1-2.
Absolutely.
You
Nobody's
know,
trading up out of that.
so whichever way it goes, it's going to be somewhere in there. And then the only other one is that kid from Florida, and he's definitely going to go too because there's a lot of teams that like him and are high on him.
Hmm.
So those four quarterbacks are going to be bye bye. And I keep seeing that y'all are going to go with the boy from Georgia.
If he's still available, they did
Keep
say
seeing it.
they
I
did
keep
say
seeing
that
it.
if he's on the board, he will not drop any lower than 9.
Yeah.
Like any higher, sorry, will not go any higher than 9. So that is potential, but in the this that we're looking, first two picks, like we said, is quarterback needy teams. Then you have the Cardinals, then you have the Colts. All right, so that's 3 quarterbacks. The Seahawks really aren't looking per se. They just
Well,
signed
no,
their
because they
right,
just re-signed, Geno. So
right.
they could
So
trade. The Cardinals could trade as long as they're still going to be sticking with Kyler Murray.
right.
They could trade easily.
They're not going anywhere because they the contract they just gave Kyler. So they're not going
Right.
to do shit. And then you have the Lions, which is surprising. They're actually pretty happy with the quarterback that they have.
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of Goff. They're going to keep him.
Then you're looking at the Raiders. I don't see them picking a quarterback at this time.
No,
Right.
they got who they wanted.
And then you got the Falcons. I don't think they're set on a quarterback.
I can see. I don't think they're sold on Desmond Ritter.
No, I don't think so either. So right there, that's 4 teams that
Right.
I would say would go for a quarterback. And then in number 9, again, you've got the Bears. And number 10, you've got the Eagles. So you've got Tennessee, that's number 11. You've got the Jets at 13. They potentially could move up depending on what quarterback might be on the board because Seattle, the Lions, definitely probably going defensive players.
Right.
So the
See,
Cardinals are looking to go for Alabama, player. So you'll get that guy.
my
Uh,
my my thought process on this whole Lamar Jackson thing. I don't think any teams are going to move till after the draft. I think that's when you'll see something heat up, unless there's some type of trade during the draft
well, the
that
idea is
includes him into it.
if they trade for him, they got to give up 2 number 1 picks. That's part of the
They-
deal.
that ain't gonna happen.
No, that's
Ain't nobody gonna give up 2 number 1. Oh, well, you're right. It is the deal.
that is
It's
the
part of the
deal.
contract. Oh shit! Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
If they would have did just a normal franchise tag, like everybody else does, then you're locked in. That's it. You're done. But
I
they
think
put the
they're gonna wait.
non-exclusive.
I think they're gonna wait till after the draft to move on him. I
But
don't think anyone's gonna move on him till after the draft.
but then you have somebody coming to you, and that's the choice where it'll be a 2024, 2025 first round pick.
Yeah, I know.
Where's that going to put you for the season? What is this? Maybe that's why people are holding out and not jumping ahead to do that because they want to get what pieces they can for this year. But
I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think somebody's going to try to get what pieces they can and get a first round draft pick, then reevaluate after the draft, and then make a move for Lamar Jackson.
I see
Because
that being the reason.
right now, he's being linked to the fucking Patriots. That's where Lamar Jackson. I've seen a bunch of reports how supposedly there's a mutual interest, and that's where Lamar wants to go is New England. But and they all know Bill Belichick is known for giving up first round draft picks. I mean, let's be honest. As I also love the Patriots besides the Jaguars, he's very well known for giving up first round draft picks.
I mean, I was reading stories last week that they were talking Bill Belichick is, shopping around to trade Mac. So,
Mac Jones, yeah.
Does he feel, confident with having Zappy as the starting quarterback?
I think he does.
There's potential.
From what I understand, most of the locker room prefers Zappy over Mac Jones.
but there's other parts that I've said so read that the locker room's happy with Jones and how
Yeah,
he
I've
can
seen vice
play a bad
versa.
up down and then come out and act like it never happened. He can reset. He can go through a lot more.
I've seen vice versa.
Right.
I've seen back and forth. But the rumors are Bill Belichick is trying to shop Mac Jones. So I mean, it's a possibility that Lamar could end up with New England.
I see that as less of an option, honestly. And is Lamar going to want to go there anyways?
He says he does. He said that's where he wanted to go. That's what the
But also, it
reports
doesn't
are.
matter with that, right? I mean, any
No,
team
but
can
I
go ahead and
mean,
give an offer, and can he veto that trade? No, because that hey, you want this, you want this, you don't want anything we are offering, so we'll put this out there and see who wants you. And nobody's really bid the ticket. Nobody could contact him before the actual physical year because the only rule of that was you had to be able to communicate with the person's shit. I just had it and I just lost track. Agent. Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent. He's doing all of this by himself. So
right.
they wouldn't allow him to communicate because he's not an agent. So they had to wait for the actual physical start of the new year, and still nobody's buzzing about anything. Like it is quiet. So I don't know like what the deal is.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a little weird. It is a little fucking weird. This has been a, we've seen years like this before. This isn't the first like super. Well, it was kind of because right after Super Bowl, if you remember, once they were able to start tampering, there was a shit ton of signings in
Mm-hmm.
like a 2 week span.
Right.
But then it
Mm-hmm.
just went fucking silent.
And there's still a lot of good players that are free agents right now that have not signed anywhere.
I mean, you did see, Roby Anderson get signed to Miami, which was I think today or
Yes.
yesterday. OBJ just went to the Baltimore Ravens. That was 2 days ago,
Yeah, and who really gives a shit?
3 days ago. I mean, fucking Baltimore fans are like jizzing their pants right now.
Who's going to throw to him though? That's the question. And is he going to
Dude,
be okay
I've been
coming back
posting
after being
memes
hurt?
like fucking crazy if it's like OBJ watching Lamar Jackson run in touchdown after touchdown.
Right.
Oh shit.
It's just ridiculous. Is he going to be healthy enough to come back and play at a high level? He hasn't been healthy in the past couple of years. He didn't get to play much because of his injury. He got hurt in the Super Bowl, was out, and then you
Yeah, but
get
he
through
had a
the game
badass year that year though.
when he got dropped from Cleveland, and then end up signing with the Rams.
Rams, yeah, when he was with the Rams, he had a hell of a good year while he was with the Rams.
There's a lot
He
of
did.
targets there too. I mean, having him on the team helped out tremendously
I mean,
because
him and Cooper Cup, they
yep.
were fucking killing it.
Oh, absolutely. And once he got hurt, the game seemed a little bit closer. But
Yeah, I mean, he was killing it in the Super Bowl
I know
up until that injury. I mean, he was looking like to be the MVP of the damn Super Bowl,
the
and
Super Bowl,
fucking yeah, whatever comes out of my mouth. So yeah, he was, yeah.
no,
So I do know. I mean, I know what happened, but I don't know what's going to happen to him
no.
because I know he's in major legal trouble for his little stunt in Vegas where they beat the shit out of that fucking guy in an elevator and like fractured his jaw and fractured his skull and I mean, fuck that poor guy up for whatever fucking reason. I mean, ultimately, I'm gonna guess that he's gonna at least. I mean, Saints will probably cut him, and he's probably gonna be suspended for at least a year, at
Then,
least.
then the Raiders will sign him.
I was waiting for that shit to happen. I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah, them are the Chiefs.
I don't know if the Chiefs would pick him up. I don't know.
I think they would. I think they would. Really do. Now the Raiders. Well, I don't know because the Raiders are now like picking up all ex Patriots players. Like it's like the new. It's like Raiders are the new Patriots.
Well, because of their head coach. They're like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
I like these players. They played with us before when I was
yeah,
a Patriot. Now
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
Raider."
So I don't know. I don't know. We'll
Player
have to look
consistency,
to
man.
we'll have to keep looking at the Alvin Kamara situation because that could be. I mean, that's going to be a major hit to the Saints because he's one of their number one between him and Michael Thomas, which they did get Thomas back for a year. He did re-sign a 1-year contract.
But is he going to be healthy again? Is he going to withstand the whole year?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He's one of the best wide receivers when he's
He's
healthy.
healthy. Yeah.
But over the last 2 years, it's been not too good. Well, last year was the first major year that he was out like all year. I think the year before that he only missed like 3 or 4 games, but this last year he was out the whole damn year, so gone. Um, but yeah, the Alvin Kamara situation is going to be something to definitely watch. The next big situation, which is going to be a massive hit to New York, is this Saquon Barkley drama, which I didn't even know was a thing. Like I thought he'd
Mhm.
done signed the contract and it was over,
No.
and then all of a sudden it's not, and I'm like, what? Like I literally seen where he got, they gave him the franchise tag. Everybody said he was signing it. He was playing. It was done deal. Now all of a sudden, he's not.
No. He wants that money. He thinks he's worth it.
I mean, he is worth it. Just saying.
Come on, we were having a discussion of times of, if they didn't franchise tag him, you were like, dude, he could go to Chicago. And I'm like, I don't want him in Chicago. I just didn't see him playing out. And, players like that just want the dollars at the end of the day. We want people to come and play and do all that. And just, he's looking for the giant payday. He's pulling a Zeke, and it's just ridiculous. Well, Zeke sat out, not on a franchise. He's just like, oh, I'm under contract, but fuck you. And look at where that got him. And, another star running back did the same thing a few years ago. But
Oh
it just,
yeah, fucking Le'Veon Bell.
and what has he been doing recently? Now is
Nothing.
Barkley a better running back? Yes. Do I think he's gonna have more playing time and all this? Absolutely. But
I mean, Le'Veon Bell sat out a year
yeah,
on
Barkley's
Pittsburgh.
probably gonna do it the same if he doesn't
Then he
get what
went.
number he
Then he
wants.
went and played with the Jets the year after.
And got
Spent
dropped.
1 year. No, he spent the whole 1 year with the Jets. Then he got traded to Kansas City. And then he didn't even fucking make the team in Kansas City. I think he just stayed on the fucking practice team the whole damn time. And then you never heard from Le'Veon Bell again. He was gone. So it's probably going to end up being the same shit. Well, I don't know. It is Saquon Barkley. It is Saquon Barkley.
Like I
He is
said,
way better. He's way better than Le'Veon Bell.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like he is better than him, but still, you can't hold out. Longevity with running backs in the league does not last as long as they used to, and you know,
Oh yeah, you got maybe 7 to 10,
right.
pushing it, pushing it. Most of them about 7, 8 years. 10 years is like phenomenal if you can get your knees to hold out that long. I can't really think of any major running backs that's made it past 10 years. Not that I could think. Not a major starting running back. Maybe if you were a, second, third string, type of deal, you might stay in a little bit longer because haven't been used as much. You weren't a workhorse, whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. And then we also got this Derrick Henry situation that's, up. Is he still on the trading? Is he still up for being traded? Is anybody going after him? Because I ain't heard shit other than, yes, he's on the trading block, and then not another thing. not
Just not
another
enough
thing.
out there.
I mean, they're staying tight. They're staying tight-lipped on this shit. What are you doing? What
Not
mad scientist shit are you doing?
well, I did look up. You're right. So he did play one season. So he missed the 1 year of 2018.
Yeah.
He did play 15 games for the Jets. Then played two the
And
following year.
then
Got dropped.
yep.
Yeah.
And they went to Kansas City and didn't make the team.
And then the other
Or
part was,
I think they
I was,
just kept him on the practice squad.
yeah. Then the other one, I was just looking at like longevity of running backs. So I mean, of course, Frank Gore's got the longest of doing 241 games. Frank Gore is a beast, though.
Yes.
Um, and it's just
I mean, how many years did he last though? I mean, I know it was 241 games, but what was that like? That's
that's what I'm
over
trying to
10.
pull up.
Was that 12, 13 years?
So that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to pull up while you were talking about that. So
Yeah, like 12, 13. Okay, so he stood the test of time for damn sure. Because I know like Emmett Smith, he only did like what, like 8 years?
that's it's see the thing is it's showing me how many games played, but it's not telling me the year. That's what I'm trying to find out before I
Yeah,
give too
I think
much.
Emmett Smith only did like 8 or 9 years. There's not very many. And while he's doing that, we're gonna go into a quick commercial break and hear from one of our sponsors.
If you aren't perfect, if you've ever struggled, if you've ever failed, if you want to get better, be better, and make our world better, this is the perfect brand for you. True Victory. Founded by U.S. military veterans, True Victory is a sportswear and streetwear brand dedicated to building everyday champions on and off the field. We're a cause. Our purpose is to transform lives and elevate humanity through the power and unity of sports, positive stories, and serving others. We're dedicated to the game, the grind, and the globe. But most importantly, we're dedicated to you. That's what it means to be always true.
You can also check out our other sponsors, W Energy Drink and Reaper Apparel. So go check them out. Go over to their websites. Whatever you buy, use the code right there, Tailgate Kings. You get 10% off your entire order. And trust me, you won't regret it because both the apparel companies are awesome. T-shirts are amazing.
Even the hoodies are on point, man.
I know. Oh man, I need to get some hoodies. I definitely need to get some hoodies. So, anyways, going back into what we were talking about with the longevity of running backs and this whole running back debacle that's going on right now. I mean,
For modern day, all right. So Frank Gore, I got this pulled up and I sent it to you, by the way.
right,
It's 16 seasons. So 241 games played in 16 seasons, racked up 16,000 rushing yards. Where, let's see here, Emmett Smith, who still holds the record for rushing,
right.
did 15 seasons. And really, anybody that's on this list that I'm looking, that's even somebody that's in the past 10 years. So we have Frank Gore, we have Adrian Peterson, Darren Sproles, who put in 14 years, and
See, a lot of these put in way more years than I thought they did.
yeah,
Way more years than I thought they did.
Jerome Bennis put in 13. The bus was out there.
Yeah.
Even the great Walter Payton put in 13. So I mean, it's been in the area, but longevity wise, other than Frank Gore, Adrian Peterson, and Darren Sproles, there's not a lot of running backs up on here. And Gore hasn't played in the past few seasons. Adrian Peterson hasn't played. Sproles retired finally. So the our modern day running backs just they get abused in college football. And then they go on to the pros. They get banged up pretty decently, and they just don't have the longevity as a lot of the other running backs used to have.
Right. And I mean, this is also starting to become, back in the day, it was more of a running league, and now it's not. And especially with all this new, having these hybrid wide receivers that they call a tight end, but really it's just a fucking giant wide receiver.
Right.
It's changed the game. And you got ones like in that hybrid spot, you've got, you had Rob Gronkowski, you've got Travis Kelce, you've got George Kittle, you've got guys like this who are these monster guys who can catch, and they can catch long balls, they can run, and they're hard as fuck to stop because they're so fucking massive.
Right.
It's not like a little 5'10", 170-pound wide receiver that you barely blow on him and he falls over. You're talking about trying to stop a fucking monster truck.
Right.
These guys are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 225 plus of just pure fucking muscle. And it's like, I remember watching games of Rob Gronkowski literally dragging like 3 people on his fucking back into the damn end zone for 20 yards. And you couldn't get him down. These little cornerbacks and DBs couldn't take him down. Same thing with Travis Kelce and George Kittle. They're just fucking mowing motherfuckers over. Like they don't even exist. And then you are starting to get some wide receivers that are matching that tight end, because like another big wide receiver that I think this is also one of the reasons that he's had the success he's had is DK Metcalf. That's a big son of a bitch.
That is.
He's a big motherfucker, and he's fast as fuck, but he's big. I mean, he could probably be a fucking tight end.
Absolutely.
If he really wanted to. He could.
But it's just more on wide to be a wide receiver than the tight end.
Right. So it's changed. I mean, being that it's changed to a lot of receiving, you might actually start seeing running backs last longer. Because they're getting less abuse.
I don't know, though, because you still see a lot of, even though the game's been changing a lot more and it's not as much of a running game, and you've always had teams that's got good quarterbacks and pocket passers, stuff like that, but they're just not holding up. And
most of the running you're seeing come from quarterbacks,
depending on the sections of the league. Yes, I mean,
you're seeing a lot of running from quarterbacks, and you're seeing most of your runs are being done on third and short. They've become a bunch of third down backs. And that's that's when you're seeing them.
You're seeing more of a read option on that. So, yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, there's 5 quarterbacks that was known more of a pocket passer last season. There was 5 quarterbacks that were known for the run. So, it really, it just always is going to be a thing. You're going to have mobile quarterbacks. You're going to have dual threats. But even one of the, a couple of the biggest ones, Josh Allen, who's known he can move and go, he was known more still as a pocket passer.
For a white boy, that motherfucker can move. He can. I'm surprised. I thought Josh Allen, and I think Josh Allen's a fantastic quarterback. And I doubted him when he first came out. They fucking sucked. They only won 6 games, and I'm like, same old Bills, ain't gonna do shit. Literally the next year, they came and fucking punched everybody in the goddamn mouth. But as typical Bills, they just can't get that fucking championship. They just can't do it. I swear, every time I see the Bills, I think about the old man on that fucking was it the Geico commercial with the little fucking fishing pole with the dollar on the end of it? Oh, you almost got it. You
gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah. It's like, pull that Super Bowl ring from him. The poor Buffalo Bills. I feel bad for Bills fans. I really do. I really do.
So I was saying for that, for like let's say 5 of the mobile quarterbacks would be Patrick Mahomes. You got
Yep.
Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Then we've got Lamar Jackson.
Yep. Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, yeah, because he was a good one that was on there. Didn't really have much of a wide receiver core.
Yeah, but we're just talking about mobile quarterbacks.
Right, and Kyler Murray. So we'll say in that part. And then you'll say more for pocket passers. You still have Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You've got I'm not even
I
gonna
don't know. I
butcher it.
wouldn't call really Josh Allen a pure pocket passer because he runs a fucking shit ton too.
Yeah, but he was more in the pocket and a lot more than
I
the
mean,
other ones.
if you're gonna go like big pocket passer, I would go Mac Jones. I would go fucking what's the Chargers fucking quarterback? Justin Herbert. Sorry,
You're fine.
I'm not on my shit tonight.
No, you're fine. That's why I'm here.
Ryan Tannehill. Obviously
Tom
Aaron
Brady.
Rodgers,
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Back when he played, old fucking God damn it. What is his fucking name? Son of a bitch. Oh, well, even though he sucks, Carson Wentz was. He's terrible. Nick Foles, another terrible one. This was pocket passer, but not Ben Roethlisberger, major.
But he could move. But he could definitely. He was.
What the hell? He didn't motherfucking look like Frankenstein trying to run.
Hold on. So that when it came down to it, like there was different rules for him and another one of your beloved quarterbacks that played for you and that you loved dearly and was so going on. Worthlessberger, I love that. That's hilarious. I'm gonna put that up on the screen. Yes. Yeah. But because of two quarterbacks, because they were so beefy and could move and actually go do it, they didn't have the same ruling as normal quarterbacks would for hits. So he was still somewhat considered a mobile quarterback because he would go for those extra couple yards. Yeah, he might look like a fucking tank just slowly going down, but he was big enough and would take the hits.
It was like watching fucking Frankenstein trying to run a fucking one-legged marathon.
But he got a shit ton of first downs because he was able to push through and do so much. And you have one of your favorite quarterbacks who's better than all the quarterbacks in the league, and he's shocked he hasn't been picked up yet, and he's not a starting quarterback for any of the quarterbacks in the league and for these teams. And
okay,
yeah, fucking watching that video. Cam. Oh, I'm so great. You're overthrowing your fucking receivers even on this.
That is true.
Like, dude, you set this up. This is your video. You're trying to show that you're hot shit, and all you looked like was fucking shit.
Yeah, he looked like straight fucking hot garbage.
But I'm better than all the quarterbacks in the league. Bullshit, you are. That's why your ass is going to be fucking watching like everybody else on TV.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I liked him. I loved him when he first came out. I did. I liked him when he was with the Panthers. I respected him. I wanted a comeback story for him. I wanted him to come back. I wanted him to go to the Patriots.
No.
And I wanted him to do good.
Mm-mm.
But you know what I think his biggest problem is?
Too big-headed and thinks he's the greatest?
Exactly. His biggest problem was his health. I think that fucking ego completely destroyed every bit of talent that guy had. Absolutely.
I'll say it wasn't much talent, in my opinion. But, what do I know?
I think he was talented, but, I mean, he got to a Super Bowl. He he blundered the fuck out of that Super Bowl because they should have won that Super Bowl. He literally fucking handed it to Denver on a big fucking gold and silver platter encrusted in diamonds.
He was encrusted in shit. That's what he was encrusted in. That's all.
Well, yeah, during that game he was. During that game, you damn right he was. And after he lost that Super Bowl, he was never the fucking same again.
Yeah, everybody saw through his bullshit, so they knew he wasn't any good and wasn't going to put up with the same crap.
He just fucking dive bombed after that. Just dive bombed. It is what it is. It is what it is. So next on what was fucking next? I had it pulled up and my fucking computer just shut off what I had pulled up.
Well, I think it's funny that we talked about 3 names in this whole process, and we've only talked about 2. So we're almost to the end. I mean, we still got another 19 minutes, give or take. But what was the third name we were talking about earlier? We had Aaron Rodgers, we had Lamar Jackson,
Yep.
and what was the other name?
OBJ.
Oh, we already covered his. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't really enough to even fucking.
We could do a whole show on these 3 guys. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could have drug it out a little bit longer, but we didn't. We didn't. I had something pulled up and it literally all my shit just like fucking freaked out and shut down, and then I'm trying to get it pulled back up again.
I've had the same things happen, so I get it.
Yeah, I am so sorry, y'all. Just stick with me just for a second while I try to get this shit pulled back up. Okay, so there we go. That's the other one I wanted to talk about. We still have the issue of DeAndre Hopkins.
Where's he going to go? What's going to happen?
Because I've heard 50,000 things in the last 4 weeks over DeAndre Hopkins.
I laugh on some of them, and especially because they keep bringing up stuff as like, oh, the Bears are going to trade for him. We're going to have this. I'm like, no, we're not. We're not fucking trading. We're not doing that. The wide receiver core that we have right now, we think is going to be huge potential. There's probably a chance that we might pick up another wide receiver in the draft. Who knows? Or figure out the best kind of trade that we can get. And let's just go on to this. Hold on, before the Hopkins thing. Because there was some other stuff too. I'm not just trying to hold myself on the Bears, though, folks. But people were talking about with them trading out, if they could get an additional first-round pick for next year, if they trade out for this year, that they would have 4 first-round picks.
Right.
So people were telling us like, oh, well, they can trade out and then use some of the picks they have to go pick up Hopkins. No, not going to happen. But if they set themselves up properly and trade back enough where they get next year's first-round pick, then they have the huge potential to try to guarantee that they would get Marvin Harrison Jr. and bring him in as their next core for wide receivers. Because Mooney's going to be gone. Claypool, I don't think is going to hold up to it. But that would be a fucking killer aspect.
I think so. I mean,
that's what I keep seeing. Like, possibly, no, the Bears are going to pick up. Either they're going to get Jalen Carter at 9 if he's available. They might go with an offensive tackle. They might go with a defensive end, with a defensive tackle.
So you think Arizona wants a pretty hefty shit for DeAndre Hopkins?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're gonna want it for Budda Baker too, because now Budda Baker fucking wants out of Arizona.
And Arizona's going to be in a rebuild now. Yeah, they've got a good quarterback. I'm not going to say the best. I've never been a big Kyler Murray fan. I've never been sold on him. But
I think the big thing with Budda Baker and with DeAndre Hopkins is the front office that brought them in
is now gone.
Yeah, exactly. They're gone. And a lot of these players that loved that front office are not loving the new front office.
No.
So they want the fuck out.
Because they know they're going into a rebuild. So it's like, we don't want to be here.
DeAndre Hopkins pretty much has said he don't even give a fuck about the money. He just wants out.
Right.
Just get me the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care where I fucking go.
He doesn't want to spend the rest of his best parts of his years, going in to another rebuild because he wants more potential.
Right.
So he wants out, Then you've got the other player that's like, no, I want out. Like, okay. They don't want to spend all that time and lose their opportunities because they want to go to a better team. They want to have somebody that's actually structured good to potentially win a Super Bowl.
Right.
And Hopkins is like, I'm fucking here. I came here because I thought there was a chance. And now there's not much.
Right. And I have heard that supposedly he's said a few places that he would prefer to go,
Mm-hmm.
which one of them being Chicago,
Mm.
one being New England, one being Jacksonville. I think Minnesota was one of them. And then there was another one. I can't remember what the other one that was named. I think it was San Francisco was
San
the other.
Francisco seems more sense. The Patriots seems like more sense. The Patriots for sure seems like a better option because they need a fucking better wide receiver in there.
Yeah, especially if they had him and Juju.
Right.
It's not bad.
No.
Not bad for them at all.
No, not at all.
Now, Buda Baker, that's a badass DB. Anybody, it doesn't matter what team, any team would fucking be instantly better with that guy. It's just who's going to have the cap space to take him and who's going to try to get him.
Now, on that one, I would love to see the Bears try to make that trade because we.
And another big player now that wants to trade is Buccaneers Devin White.
Right.
Devin White wants out. That's another big fucking name that could instantly make a team
huge
better.
difference. Oh, absolutely. But does the Buccaneers want to get rid of him? I know they're in the rebuild, but they had to drop a bunch of fucking money. They were just fucking when they won the Super Bowl, they were right there at the line. So they tried to hold out and they tried to make it another season. They just didn't make it as far as they wanted to. They didn't have the same aspect. The quarterback was just not the same. But, you know, he's just, again, another player. Do I want to stay here for the rest of my time? And no, I want fucking out. Put me somewhere else. Put me where I'm actually going to be helpful. And I have more potential to get another ring.
Right. Well, with Devin White, according to NFL analysts, now these aren't teams that are going after Devin White, but they're saying that this would be his 5 best fits. And of course, I'm not going to go in and read the whole damn 5 paragraphs of every fucking team.
Just give us
but they're saying number 1 is Minnesota, number 2 is Houston Texans, number 3 is Philadelphia, number 4 New England, and number 5 the Denver Broncos.
And I don't even see why Minnesota's even on there. They don't have the space. They couldn't carry him.
Well, they're saying that is because Minnesota just lost so many badass fucking players. Why, I don't know.
They didn't have the cap space to carry a lot of them. They had to drop and cut.
Yeah, they just lost a lot of massive names that were making them as good as they were. I don't think they're going to be that good next year because they took too many fucking hits.
Right. I think the top of the league is going to be, for sure, it's going to be the Lions because they're looking pretty scary and they have, you know, a good chance with.
The only thing that can keep Minnesota in the game is Justin Jefferson. That's the only thing that's going to be their saving fucking grace, and that's if they can make it into the playoffs.
Yeah. It just depends on Kirk Cousins. And it again, I'm not going to say that the Bears are going to go from the worst team to the best team, but they have huge potential. And
they have potential to take that division.
Right. If we're playing without Aaron Rodgers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, your toughest is going to be Detroit.
Yes, that's absolutely. The Vikings are going to be close, but they're they're a scab of themselves. They're not who they used to be.
They're going to be beatable.
And, you know, the team to really go up against will be the Detroit Lions. And it's not very often you get to say that in the same sentence.
No. No, it is not.
And one of my coworkers is from Detroit. You know, he's a diehard Lions fan. And me and him talk and everything else. Hell, we had our biggest betting game of the year. We did a quarter per game. I lost. But, you know, I was even telling, I was like, dude, anytime they're not playing the Bears, I'm rooting for them. I want to see them do good. You know, that's just so much heartache for the fucking Lions. But the divisions are just being restructured.
Heartache for the Lions for fucking years and years and years and years.
Right.
So I mean, they've been waiting, and I mean they damn near made it this last year. They damn near made the playoffs.
Yep.
Damn near.
And they made sure the Packers didn't make it, so that was great.
And the fucking Seattle Seahawks ruined it for them. They needed Seattle to lose that last game.
Right.
And everybody thought Seattle was going to lose it, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They came in, they won. and ruined the day for Detroit because Detroit needed two things. They needed to win against Green Bay, and they did.
Mhm.
And they needed Seattle to lose.
They spanked them at home, so that was sad. But yeah, that was, and then Seattle goes in the playoffs in the round and then just gets wiped. It's like, oh,
Yeah, who did fuck them up? Somebody fucked them up real bad. I can't
Giants.
remember who it was. It the Giants? Yeah, somebody fucked them up real bad. Real bad. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah. Okay. Well, on that, boys and girls, I think we are going to end it for tonight. I think next week is going to be a fucking surprise because you got NBA finals going on, you got hockey going on, baseball's getting heated up. There's a lot of awesome stuff going on in baseball. I'm actually shocked right now that there's still an undefeated team in baseball, which is blowing my mind.
Mhm. We got the playoffs for the hockey, and we've got XFL is getting to their final games. The USFL just started this weekend, so
the next show is going to be a free for all.
But
We're
also-
just going to fucking go at it.
and there's potential, folks. I want to let you know, get you excited. We've talked about it. That night for the NFL draft, we may be coming to you live and giving you our analysis live with the updated picks. So it won't be just an hour show. We might be sitting here for a few hours.
Yes, we're going to do that. We are going to do that. But anyways, we love you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday night, and we will see you next week or this week or whatever fucking week it's supposed to be. I don't know.
Fuck
I'm
Aaron
off
Rodgers
on
and fuck
shit.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, fuck Aaron Rodgers.